Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-anbiya wa khatim al-nabiyyin. Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alih wa ashabih wa man tabi'ahum bil ihsan ila yawm al-din. Today we have a question from one of our questioners in Australia, Ahmed. And the brother wanted to know about a situation that comes to him when he's in his Salah. Sometimes he goes to pray, and all of us get affected by this sometimes. We go to pray and we're sure, okay, we're in our wudu, and we pray, and then later on, maybe an hour or two later, we say, you know what? I broke my wudu. But sometimes the shaitan comes to us and he says to us, don't worry about it, you did it, you made a mistake, no problem. You did it based upon, and you had good intentions. Verily, the deeds are based upon their intentions. So you had good intentions, so don't worry about it, inshallah, Allah knows your intentions. But this is a problem. Because there's a general fiqh principle, or from amongst those qawaid al-fiqhiyas, some of you know who've actually taken qawaid al-fiqhiyya with us. And this is that principle that we've been talking about in class actually. And it goes, La ibra bidhan al-bayyin khataw. That there is no ibra. We don't consider someone just because they think a situation or thought a situation was the way it was. Once it becomes clear that it wasn't like that, then we can't base anything off of that that understanding that they had or that opinion that they had. You understand? We can't say, okay, I prayed and I thought I was in wudu, but then it came clear that I wasn't in wudu. At this point in time, you need to make wudu and you need to re-pray. Now this is about the question that we got. Why? Because of this fiqh principle that says, La ibra bidhan al-bayyin khataw. That there is no ibra. Or we don't take into consideration that ijtihad that an individual made, or that opinion that an individual carried, when it becomes clear that it was incorrect. But rather we act as though it was never done and nothing was ever built upon. We act as though the salah was never made. And this is an important principle for all of us. For people, whether or not they're ulama, whether or not they're tulab al-ilm, or students of knowledge, or whether or not they're just the general masses of the people. This is an important principle. Because a lot of things ride on this principle. For instance, the water that you made wudu with. You believe that you made wudu with water that was pure. You found some water that was in a jug and this, that, and the other, and you said, okay, well, it's time for us to make wudu. You made wudu with this water and then you prayed. And later on, someone comes in there looking for the water in the jug. They're like, what happened to the water in the jug? I was about to go dump it out. You say, okay, well, why? I mean, this is just an example. And they say because, something was in that water and the water itself was najis. You all know from our fiqh classes that you can't make wudu with najis water, or water that has impurities in it and in itself is not pure. You can't make wudu with this. So now what you've done was you made wudu and you prayed with this. So do you say, okay, well, even though it's clear that I built my opinion off of something that was incorrect, that I'm going to continue going with that particular wudu and my salah as well? No. Because of this principle, when you understand the fact that There is no ibra by an opinion or for an opinion that is clear to you that was wrong. It's clear that it was wrong. Then you don't build on it. You don't act on it. You act as though it never was there, and you build upon what you were upon before that. So now that you know that that water wasn't pure, now you know you have to make wudu again. And because you know you weren't in wudu, you know you have to make salah again. You understand? This issue goes on and on and on and on. There are a lot of things in our lives that we build upon and understanding. And then we come to figure out that, you know what? This was dead wrong. Not it's a possibility. Maybe the water was najis, maybe it wasn't najis, or you have some shak or some doubt about a situation. We talked about this in some of our previous classes as well. We're not talking about that type of a situation where you're not sure. We're talking about when you know without a shadow of a doubt that you were wrong. And you built on this being wrong. And you did types of ibadah or worship or other things that were based off of this wrong. We don't sit back and say, okay, well, you know, Allah knows my intentions. No. We understand that the ulama have put down these qawaid or these principles for us to be able to work from, to go off of. And this is why they're so important. Especially this particular principle that is with us today. So do your best. Whether or not you memorize it is not, you know, the most important thing to me. But that you understand it, that you're able to apply it correctly, and that you're able to spread it and teach it to the others. So if you have any questions about this particular principle, or any other general questions, as usual, you can leave the questions below or contact us through either of the sites, and inshallah ta'ala we'll try to get to them. But what I would advise you to do is, if you found this video beneficial, subscribe. This way, subscribe, like it, whatever. Because this way, what it'll do is it'll make sure that you always are kept in the loop when new videos come out. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And anyone that you think that can benefit from this, we ask that you share this with them. So that they too can benefit, so that we can start trying to pass off information that we can actually use in our lives. And not just be passing off information, but passing off beneficial knowledge that can actually be applied in our everyday lives. Tayyib, I hope this was a question, an answer that was beneficial and attached to the question itself. And if you need any more bayan, like I said, just leave your questions below. Jazakumullahu khair. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.